This is Andy Purewal for ID Boxing. I'm here in Doncaster and I'm joined by the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. Tyson, we've got to get straight into it because I know you're a busy man. Your brother Roman's just made his pro debut. How proud of you of what you've just seen in the ring tonight?
I'm very, very impressed. You know, Roman's never had a fight before, amateur or professional. And from what I seen tonight, I really liked what I seen. And he did very, very fantastic. I'm very proud of him. Well done, Roman.
There's obviously going to be those same comparisons to when Tommy turned over, the pressure because of what you've achieved in the sport. What's Roman like with that, carrying the Fury name?
Well, you know, he did okay tonight. He did really well. You can't compare these fighters to me because I was an open class international amateur boxer. Roman's never had an amateur fight before. This was his first fight ever. Amateur, pro, pretend, whatever you want. This was his first fight. So, you know, you can't judge him with the same character. I won all titles and internationals and everything, so it was what it was.
We can't judge him in that same bracket, but you've obviously trained alongside him. He's your brother. You know him better than most. How far do you think he can go in the sport?
Listen, nice and steady baby steps. He's 26 years old, making his debut. He's got a long way to go, and I think he's just going to enjoy it. You know, if you have hopes of the world straight away, like I did, and you won't settle for anything less, then it's a pretty hard task. But if you're just enjoying it and going with the flow and loving every minute of it, then you're onto a roller coaster, seaside town holiday.
Tyson, onto yourself.
Yep.
Waiting for the announcement this week onto your next opponent. There's been some reports it is going to be Derek Chisora for a trilogy. Can you confirm or deny if that's the case?
I think we've got a press conference next week and we'll be announcing an opponent next week.
How many, if you're saying there you've got an opponent to announce, so what's kind of a number of opponents you guys are considering?
I think there's 4 or 5 guys in the hat. There's a couple of southpaws in there and a couple of not southpaws, orthodoxes. So, you know, we'll decide who it's going to be. But yeah, there's a few contracts been sent out to a few different people.
What's the deciding factor for you to choose your opponent? Mentioning southpaws, obviously the other fight out there everyone wants to see is you versus Usyk for undisputed, who is a southpaw.
Yeah, the factor is, one, the fanfare value. What do they bring? Who's interested? 2, who can give you value for money on the night? December the 3rd, British boxing, banger before Christmas. We want a good entertaining fight.
Now, somebody who has entertained those British fans is Derek Chisora, as I mentioned. How well received do you think that fight would be between the British public, and what do you think he'd bring to a fight with yourself? Because you would be a heavy favourite in amongst anyone, never mind Derek, if that was to be the case.
I think Derek is a tit-faced wanker. And after his latest antics, I hope it is him, because they're going to punch his face in. Unfortunate for him, if he signs a contract, I'm going to have to severely smash his teeth in. So, yeah, we'll see. Because I know he's on Joshua's at the moment, blowing him off daily. And because he's big brother, mate, hasn't got the bollocks to fight the Gypsy King, then maybe he can send his little dosser in and he'll do it.
That's something I was going to ask about. The Anthony Joshua fight falling through, that had every British boxing fan's hopes kind of clinging to seeing you two finally share the ring. Just to walk me through it from your perspective as to why that fight fell through, Tyson.
In my opinion, and this is being brutally honest, I think lack of balls from AJ. Didn't want the fight and didn't push it. I didn't sign the contract.
We've obviously seen Eddie Hearn and George Warren talk about the fight since falling through. On Hearn's perspective, he said he was down to commercial rights, so I wanted to kind of have more of a say in that. Your understanding on that?
I don't even know what commercial rights are. They sound like a lot of shit to me. Excuses. Like I say, lack of balls on AJ's part, or lack of, what's the word I'm trying to look for here? Assertive. Being assertive. If you're a man, you be assertive with your team and make sure shit's done. But lack of balls, I say. Lack of balls.
Tyson, Oleksandr Usyk.
In this game, you need to have balls like King Kong.
Oleksandr Usyk, Tyson, are you confident next year you two will have an undisputed title bout?
I don't give a shit about Oleksandr Usyk. He's a little foreigner nobody cares about. And I'm doing a fight in December, which I'm not looking past. And who knows, I might retire again after it.
On that front, Joyce said that he would have fought you if it was a little bit later in the year. Do you think, again, at some point that would be a big British fight? And what did you make of his win against Joe Parker, your campmate?
Joseph Parker! Listen, it was a great fight between Joe and Joe. Joe's a good guy. Both Joes are very good guys and good fighters. Joyce won the fight, fair play to him. But again, he doesn't have a massive following. Like, he could walk in here tonight and nobody would know who he is. Do you know what I mean? So if I fight somebody like that, although it's a good fight to the boxing fans and on paper, but it's not a good fight to the general public because they don't know who Joyce is. So I even said, Joe, to give him some advice, like, build your following up, get some big fights, maybe cross the Atlantic and build up over there a bit, and then come back when people know you. Because I don't want to waste a great fight with me and Joyce when people don't know who Joyce is, other than boxing fans. Outside of boxing fans, do you think many people would even know who Joyce is? Clearly not. I know you can't answer that, so I'll answer it for you. They don't know who he is because he hasn't had enough time in the public eye. Don't think I've been doing this 14 years as a professional, so I've had a long time. Been on telly every time as well. So it's been a long time building, and it doesn't come overnight. And he's only been a pro a few years, so build up and get Frank Warren to do his job. Keep building him up and keep getting the knockovers. And one day, when he's a star, hopefully we fight. I fight anybody. I don't really care. I fought the biggest puncher in the world in history, and I fought one of the longest reigning champions in history, both in their backyards, and beat them both. So yeah, not really bothered about who the opponent is.
I mean, depending on how things play out and how long you plan on sticking around, Tyson, you could end up having a fourth bout with Deontay Wilder. Obviously, he returns with Robert Helenius next weekend, and if he wins that, a final eliminator with Andi Ruiz. Walk me through the Helenius fight first, your thoughts, and a potential fourth bout between the pair of you.
I think that Helenius is a good fighter. I think he's number one ranked WBA, or he should be if he's not. I think he did an eliminator with Adam Kavosky. So yeah, but I just think that Wilder's a monster puncher, and as soon as he lands on Helenius, he's out. I seen Gerald Washington knock Helenius out. So and Wilder knocked him out. So, and he didn't do much good with Dillian White. Helenius couldn't really hurt him, and Wilder punches like 5 times harder than White. So, yeah, KO for sure.
Just away from yourself, Tyson, get your thoughts on a couple other quick things. This weekend, we was due to see a massive fight between Conor Benn Chris Eubank Jr. That isn't going ahead now because of a positive finding in a VADA test on Conor Benn's behalf. Just want to get your thoughts on that entire situation.
Again, it's like I said to the other guy, it's none of my business what happens to other fighters' careers and stuff, so don't have any opinion on it.
No, you don't have an opinion on it. One thing that people have been curious by is there's a doctor called Usman Sajjad who said he's worked with you. He's got you listed on his website, and according to online, he's someone who specialises in testosterone enhancement. I just wanted to see if you've worked together, if you could confirm that, and what he's like as a character.
Usman's a good guy. You know, I've known him about a year now. He works with quite a lot of boxers, and whatever happens, I'd definitely say it's nothing to do with Usman.
So you've got no concerns on that behalf, and you'd say categorically he wouldn't have been involved in.
He'll be working with me for my next fight on December the 5th, so yeah, I trust him 100%.
And then just quickly, Tommy Fury returning against Paul Bamba out in the Deji Mayweather card, or Mayweather Deji rather. Just your thoughts on Tommy's progression, what you're hoping to see there? Yeah,
you know, easy money before Christmas and get a good knockout or wherever it is, and enjoy the Mayweather undercard. You know, he's on the undercard of one of the greatest fighters in history, so enjoy that. Take it in.
Is the Jake Paul fight dead and buried for him now?
I don't think so. I think they're supposed to be fighting in February, are they not? So I've heard. Going around on the grapevine.
Final one. Yep. I know you've been in the WWE. Logan Paul's joined the WWE. He said he'd like to fight you, but is that something we could see down the line once you leave boxing, yourself and him in a WWE ring?
Yeah, never say never. I'm a massive WWE fan, and I think it's a great fight between him and Roman Reigns. I was impressed with his debut, and you got to give it to him. You know, he's doing well. Good luck. God bless. And I'll see you all December the 3rd.
Thank you, Tyson.